go. I promise it's the last one. I don't have any more. So don't worry. But yeah, the co-author, Gillian, is not here. She's in Dubai. We are participating a bit in the Museum of the Future. So doing some projects there, but I will make it very quick. So I will not bore you with some of the findings that we had, but this report ended up around 70 pages. It's available online on our website, so a lot of this chunk will be brought into small, short papers for people to make sense of it. Those who do not know, Pakistan is a fairly big country located in South Asia, about 250 million people. But there isn't much going on, or at least there is not much formalization of digital arts in the country. There's a lot of research done by British Council and UNESCO on creative industries, but not specifically on digital arts and the industry. I'm the founder of the festival. I've been in the curation of digital art in Pakistan for over 10 years now, but in 2019, we formally launched it as a platform to help address some of the key issues that digital art faces in Pakistan, from curation to access to museums, to research, to grants and education, and so on and so forth. And last year, we had a partnership with European Union Institute for Cultures, in which we sat down together to understand where we could start and how we could understand more of the challenges that the country is facing. So, and that's where the report started. If I call it MDAP instead of the whole name, it represents an initial effort to understand the basic demographics of the industry, how it interacts with itself, and the existence of structures such as community, laws, standards, regulations, and archives, and the main challenges it faces. It's quite exciting, this whole research, but it's also equally exciting because this is going to become my PhD project at UBC, or a bit more wider than that, focusing on archiving in South Asia of digital art. MDAP position itself as far as first archive of digital arts in Pakistan, but rather the repository of artworks. It rather seeks to provide a picture of the industry in this moment. So quickly into the methodology that we used. We surveyed based on ethnographic research methods and divided into 3 sections: demographics, relationship to and within the industry, and challenges and solutions that I will briefly summarize for you later. We analyzed through a journal inductive method, including thematic and sentiment analysis. I think we reached out to more than 200 institutions across the country, but we were able to connect with 53 of them. And when I say institutions, it also has universities, galleries, studios, and collectives, and some prominent artists as well, or prominent visual artists, I would say, if not directly visual artists. We were able to receive 102 responses, as I said. These are 102 individual responses, but some of the questions required multiple answers, so we have a bit more detailed answers on that. Some of the findings are that the digital art is very in its nascent phase. Young people are in digital arts, or if you call it media art, some are calling it mixed media art, some are calling it something else, but if you call it digital art, then 80% of the artists right now are under 35. And well, 80% of them have bachelor's or master's equivalent, but only in fields related to digital art, because we don't have a educational program in digital arts in Pakistan as such, or even interactive art. So around 47% had formal training in digital arts. Some of the big cities and also the smaller cities were also represented, so we were able to get data on what are the key hotspots, and Lahore happens to be the main hub of digital art for various reasons, for the economy, for the showcases, curation, education, and so on and so forth. So if you're looking to bring your project to Pakistan, so Lahore could be a starting point for you to look into. Then a lot of people have different concerns and different suggestions as we move forward. Briefly summarized, I have to go with the theme of the presentations. Sorry, some colors are very close to each other. So, but I would say a lot of people said a lot of the finding that we had was economics was the biggest concern in the country. They're not able to make money out of their own digital art, or they were not source of how would they materialize what they are trying to work on. The other angles that we covered were around awareness. Some of the oldest museums, Lahore Museum is quite old, and other new galleries and museums were not open to bringing digital art or interactive art into their spaces. So awareness is a big issue. Then a lot of artists were, quite depressed with the introduction of AI. I think we talked about it a little bit in other presentations, that it will take up their space. So yeah, you can see it's good, right, kind of understanding of how the concerns were. And some of the key challenges, again, were around awareness and industry culture. Much of the industry is still traditional painting, and then if you are making digital art, the avenues are not so positive. But there were also conversation around platforms, infrastructure, that made us realize that there are some other areas that work to be done. Some of the short-term solutions were, again, yes, so that was the key finding, was that there needs to be more platform, archives, and showcases online where the work can be brought or showcased to other people. And then some universities, or the recommendation around university to start courses around interactive technologies as a bachelor's degree and or a master's degree in the country. And long-term solutions were, of course, again, the similar around learning, infrastructure, and that's how our industry culture. I'll briefly go in the analysis of the whole thing that we were able to come up with. So at present, mostly a collection of individuals who pursue for various reasons, interests, financial, etc., or the structure of functioning industry as industry, such as communities, archives, forums, conferences, funds, networkings, law, regulations, etc. are absent. Community building, awareness, and industry structures most common threads, and necessity of a multi-stakeholder approach. So some of the recommendations that Lahore Digital Arts Festival, or Lahore Digital Festival to be short, follows in are around community building. So we have a recurring festival of digital art. We had the last one in 2023, last year, yes. We had about 75 artists coming together, digital artists coming together from 15 countries across 10 venues in the city. So the whole city festival around digital art. And then the conversations around research has already started. Some of this we're doing now, and more detail and research is also coming out next year. And then there's a conversation around online platforms, archiving and all that. We're in touch with some universities in Lahore. So if you work with universities in outside countries, if you're interested in collaborating with us, I think there are quite now avenues of short courses, workshops, and integrated curriculums being launched by Beacon House National University and National College of the Arts, the two prime schools in Lahore. There is now, we are in touch with the Culture Ministry in Pakistan to kind of come up with laws that protect copyrights, and also awareness around the use of digital works, because people just make copies of them and sell them online even without artists knowing. So there's a lot of complexities to that. I'll come to the conclusion of the report. We have, as I said, development of programs now. We are engaging with region-wide partners. We have a research network now in place with some universities in South Asia, also in Pakistan. And then there is need of help frame the public culture policy with relevant stakeholders, that we're already on it. And I already talked about the collaboration with the universities. What is next? Next is now 2 series of reports that will come out on the economic issues specifically that we're working on, that how and when and where and how digital artists can be more economically empowered, especially in emerging economies, and especially in countries like Pakistan and India and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. But there's much work to do, and we would love to have all of you on board with us. Thank you.